Oh, lovely stuff. You know, that is a Ralfe Band live in session, more than enough. So, Ollie, your last album, Notes from Another Sea, it was an instrumental album. So what made you go in that direction?
Yeah, I always wanted to do. I've always written instrumentals. If anyone knows the other albums, they're all sort of dotted about. But I just wanted to have a go at doing an entire album of instrumentals. And we actually started doing the other a new Ralfe Band album. But then a few sort of life things happened, and I kind of just couldn't sort of finish off the songs for a while. So I sort of dived into doing the instrumentals, and then sort of got back into it, finishing the album after that one came out, really. So it was just sort of something I had to do.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
so get it out your system.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you released a single, Sweating It Out, which I loved, and we played a lot on this programme.
Yeah, so that was a sort of one-off. We thought about putting it on the album, and then it was like, that was just a one-off sort of moment. It was brilliant. We did it live in the studio, and in the end we just decided just to leave it as a one-off. Like bands, in the past would just do a one-off single. It was nice.
Yeah, but at that point in time, I was expecting an album to come hot off the heels of it.
Yeah, I know. I basically got a bit carried away with finishing this album. It became this kind of like mass of ideas. I started producing myself more at home during sort of dreaded, lockdown, and got more into the production. And then there was just a lot of distilling and sifting to do, and Garrow helped me. Well, Garrow mixed the album, so we kind of got together more last year, and we kind of weeded through all the ideas. There were just tons of ideas, and then we kind of sort of filtered it down to what you hear now. I also worked with a friend, Ben Nichols, down in Sussex as well. And so it was a kind of gradual process, getting there, trying to make it sound, effortless, even though it wasn't.
Yeah, well, you say not effortless. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? When you're not paying for a studio by the hour, I've said this before. The pressure's off, isn't it? But there's also the temptation to keep layering things on as well. And is that how you found it, just kind of expanding as you went along? Yeah,
kept expanding. I played quite a lot more guitar on this album. More electric guitar, which I haven't really done before, and I was just having a lot of fun with it. But then you'd end up with like 8 guitar parts,
right?
And so
didn't do Blue Oyster Cult any harm, though, did it?
No, I'll note that for next time. Yeah, maybe I'll keep them.
So, thinking about it though, and I've known your music for a long time now, and various things that you've done, various things you've been involved with. If I owned a record shop, which section should I find the Ralfe Band under? Because you do span lots of different genres, don't you? In a way, there is definitely some kind of indie element to it, but then there would also be some folk. I've even heard country mentioned within it.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weirdly, I saw it categorised here as pop, and then in France it's lo-fi. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to... I don't really like having labels, really. I sort of like... One of the most inspiring albums ever for me was the White Album, when I discovered the White Album. And
right.
I just listened to it endlessly when I was about 18, 19, when I first got it. And I just loved that eclecticism of, where the album is just a journey of ideas. And I've never really been one to make an album with a kind of singular sound, in a way, or singular style of songwriting, but there's something about it that hangs together as us, I think.
Right,
partly the people on the record, and
it's got the Ralfe Band DNA as always.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a French label that the album's on, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay.
It is. They're called Talitre. Yeah, so they got involved with this album. We finished it, and then I sent it to Sean, who's a really great sort of independent label in Bordeaux, and he really loved it. So he's sort of really bringing it to life in terms of sharing it with the world. So that's brilliant.
I know you're going over to France, so I think that what you should probably do when you do go over is you should go round all the record shops and take issue with the lo-fi thing. Just go in.
Hang on a minute.
What's this crap?
I can actually play the piano.
Yeah, what's lo-fi about this?
And have you heard her voice? She ain't lo-fi.
No, it took me 3 years to make this bloody thing, and you're calling it lo-fi. I'll come with you if you want.
Please do. I'll never escape it.
No, well, not now that I've said it. So, Pale Fire was inspired by Nabokov.
Well, kind of. It was maybe a bit more sort of random than that, but it's the title of a Nabokov novel.
Yeah.
It's a really great, funny... I like Nabokov, and I don't know if you've read him, but... And I often get inspiration. To get out of my own vocabulary, I'll flick through books and just pull out random lines and see what I can do with them. And I think it was just... sometimes it'd just be the cover of a book on a bookshelf, and it just sort of had a mystery to it or something that I thought
triggers you off.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, it's 999 line poem that the book is made up of, from a fictional poet. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah.
Okay, and so, but he was able to do that, which is a kind of a little bit of a folly. He just kind of followed his kind of his sense of mischief, and he was allowed to do that because he'd written Lolita.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you see, there's a lesson to be learnt there, because what you need to do is have a massive Christmas hit single.
We're working on it.
You know, and then you can just do whatever you like from there on in. I know Noddy Holder. I've not seen him for a long time, but he's a wonderful man. But, you know, take it from me. That's the advice Noddy Holder would give you.
Have a hit.
Have a Christmas hit.
Now you tell us.
Now.
We better get working on that, actually.
Yeah.
Christmas single.
I'll wear my Santa outfit next time you come round. Okay. Okay then. So the dates that you've got coming up, I think I've got them written down here. So now are you doing? We did go through this before, actually. If you just bear with me.
Yeah.
So Truck Store in Oxford on the 9th of July.
Yeah. So we're sort of an Oxford band, I would say, just about in a roundabout way, and so we're playing at the Truck Store on Cowley Road, which will be great. It's a really good record shop. And then we're doing Truck Festival not long after, which is also nearby, near Oxford.
Do they still have bands playing on the back of the trucks? They used to.
It's sort of changed, but there's a sort of little enclave of the original truck spirit that is preserved by our friends Joe and Robin.
Yeah, I went years ago and they were playing on the back of trucks. For once, I'm not being facetious.
Yeah.
And then you are playing on the 12th of September, which seems like a long time away, but it'll be there before you know it. The Lexington in London.
Yeah, so that'll be our first London gig for a while. So that's, really exciting. So we're going to do that.
Fab. Okay, so the Ralfe Band, you're going to do 2 tunes back-to-back for us now. So you're going to do Pale Fire next, is it? And then Howl?
We are indeed.
Brilliant. Okay, get to it. Thank you.
Thank you.